regardless of what's happened here for Astralis, Magus has looked great, and he is the only man to buy anything in this round, and he's already made his money back, or at least enough of it. Quick D, dropping twist. Where did Astralis go from here? Might just crunch B as a unit. Maybe they want to hit A instead. Got to get the pop dog though, and Rez is still there.
Ooh. There we go. It's going to swing on out. He wasn't actually ready for Magus back in the site, but it doesn't matter. He's able to adjust more than well enough here, and he's even taken these fights with the USP. Nice. Not going to fare well with these MP9s hounding him down. It's a nice clean round for Nip. They only lose Twisted amongst all the chaos. And of course, it was just pistols for the Danes, so they're not really going to be feeling too upset with how that one pans out. The buy now coming on in. And NIP gonna run a bonus here on the players that had these SMGs. Grading on Twist, who of course went down in that round. And Ivy aggression looking to be the order of the day. Nork lining up this flash to facilitate the push from Plopsky and Twist. And Magus is going to get dealt with. There's another man here in Device to try and trade this. Twist is now trapped behind the server. He's going to need some support from his teammate in Nork. Sadly, it arrives a little too late. And so the best Nork can do is just smoke this off. But this is going to leave Astralis in this 4-on-3. Now sat with a man advantage and forcing a rotation away from the B site. The bomb's actually gone out through main here, so it's looking like an A commitment. They flash Rez into main, he deals with Device, and now they spot that there's players here in Olaf, but they weren't ready for Snappy. Ooh. He does have this bomb, and so doesn't want to risk going down. He's going to fall on out from the A site. While this has happened, Yugi pushes Pop Dog, and NIP, I think they've outbrained themselves a bit here. They didn't see anything at A. They spot that bomb going back, and so they go, they're surely going B, right? Like, this is it. This is the cool guys. Full rotate. And that's what they do. They both end up in the B bomb site. And with both of them now pushing the extremities of the halls, they're going to realize it is an A play from Astralis. They will be able to come in on a pop flank, which, considering this is where Yugi just came from moments ago, maybe it's something Astralis aren't ready for.
I think this is by design for NIP. I think they knew B was clear because they saw the bomb in A after Snappy trades that aggressive main play. They knew where it was going to end up at this point, and they just wanted to put themselves as far away as possible and try and play retake. They've been spotted, though, trying to push out, and now this plant needs to happen. Snappy's getting chased, and that is such a great play from Nork. Him and Hampus combined for the 2 kills. NIP find a round. And yeah, if anything, Harry, that looked like NIP were ready for that exact play because, you know, not only did they go B instantly, but they both pushed lane towards the ramp. They weren't setting up for a defense. They weren't waiting for an execute. They immediately pushed the flank, knowing that Astralis were likely to commit to that A site. You know, maybe expecting it to come in a little bit earlier, to be honest, because Snappy was in Olaf, already pushed green. So, you know, there was a chance he could have just committed to the plant off the back of that kill when he trades Rez. But hey, either way, he stalls it out. He goes back towards Ivy, and that just gives more time for NIP to set up, and essentially ends with Astralis not getting a bomb plant and therefore not having any money in this round. It's a low buy. NIP, their chance to continue to run away with this CT side. Astralis yet to field a round here. Deegs and armor, and we have everyone armed and dangerous for NIP. Kits galore, the AWP on Nork. And this is where the shooting gallery really comes through.
Oh. Magisk has just spent so much of this T side getting pop flashed. I kind of feel bad for him. One by one, Astralis are trickling into this site. Yugi just swings out wide from main and kind of gets sacrificed to NIP. And yeah, that's the shutdown. It's nice, it's clean, and everything in between for NIP. 12-7, and a reinvestment going to be coming through here for the Astralis side. AWP on Device, and there is the AWP in the hands of Nork as well. So we might get to see this head-to-head between the two of them. I'm trying to figure out what kind of spawn Device has. If he has like a position where he can maybe attempt this fast main pick, and I don't think he did. I think he was actually at the back of the pack, so he's going to head down towards Ivy with Magisk early on in this round. And there are 2 players here One of those being the AWP of Nork. So let's see if we get this head-to-head, the clash of the AWPers.
They've been doing this boost a fair bit, but NIP have been, conceding Ivy. They've not been playing for the fight. So since that pistol round, just running a crossfire. And, oh my, what? That Molotov, that's not fair. That's not allowed. Popsky pushed down to 20. Confused why he's burning. I am too, buddy. And now he's got to deal with his pop play on such low health. Support from Rez close towards T-Con, but the first contact comes from Popsky. He's going to smoke it, playing it safe, not wanting anything to do with his battle, and instead playing Astralis' own smoke to deny them walking through it. Rez has main. NIP, this is an excellent bit of control in this round, right? The only position they don't have is Ivy, and Twist is watching for the exit. So NIP seeing mains clear, having Pop as well. They can kind of read into this, that it's going to be a B play, and so already 2 players stacked towards that side of the map as Astralis rotate the bomb. Magis is selling a fake. He smoked left to insinuate the fact that they're trying to take A, but he's going to flank through CT. That's a nice little play from Magis. And, NIP will know about the chance of this happening, but I don't think they'll know about the speed. He is so quickly in the enemy spawn, but they've heard him.
Yeah, this is peeling Nork's attention away, though, and this is a very tricky fight for him to win out. Magis coming in on this wrap, and Hampus, yeah, he's terrified. Like, where are you even looking if you're Hampus? They're everywhere, and Yugi's going to be the man to remove him from this bomb site. However, the Deeg has quickly sprung to life. Rez dealing with a double. This leaves Device and Dupree. Now just Dupree in the 1v2. He's spotted Rez with this off, and he's looking for the fight, but Rez doesn't give it up. 3 kills in the round for him. Plopsky delivering that frag onto Device as well up in the halls, and a defuse for NIP. It's very odd, man. This Astralis squad, like in this iteration of it, obviously, like not the ideal circumstances. It just feels like so many rounds they'll be sat in like these 4-on-3s, these 5-on-3s. And then in a matter of seconds, everything can just turn against them. And it's like the most un-Astralis thing you've ever seen.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Plopsky, I think he really makes a good play there for NIP. He pushes Pop and gets it into halls, but what he doesn't do, which I think would be the predictable play, would be go down the ramp and try and kill someone on the site. Astralis were waiting for that, so he just hangs in the halls on the ramp and just waits, because he knows that in that 2-on-2, Rez is going to put enough pressure on the site to force a player back into the halls, or at least distract the player if they're on the site, and Device does that. He starts to watch a flank, he scopes from upper, and, well, Plopsky is already past the scope. He knows that, and so he just takes the kill. And yeah, I think NIP have had some really good rounds. Like I don't want this win to be taken away from them because Astralis don't have their full roster, but obviously it's always the asterisk, it's always the caveat for this team until they do bring back their full roster. Popsky pushed up, he gets 1. That's probably more than you could ask for, but the AWP might double down. Twist has found a second. He's looking for these 2 more. Oh dear, good flash, forced off. Rez has pushed around the smoke though, and he's put more damage away of Device. Looks to finish the job onto Yugi. Probably confused why he didn't get the kill, but that's 2 separate players taking fights. Yugi won't succeed. Rez takes him down, and Snappy, similar story. Astralis try a fast A play, but NIP are everywhere with all 5 players on the outer site in an instant. 14 rounds, man. No T rounds for Astralis in this half. And that might not change here, Harry.
Yeah, I mean, it's back down to the pistols, and at this point for Astralis, it's kind of horrible because it's like you look at it, and they can't really look at any of these calls that they've made and been like, yeah, that works reliably. Oh, this has been a good thing for us to exploit. It feels like they've just been getting shut down at every turn, and now we're just relying on the individuals stepping up for Astralis. Now, Device has opened up with an early kill, but Plopsky just... Oh, he gets another. Device and Dupree, the bullet magnets, both catch a shot from Plopsky. And Magisk is the only man left. He's in this 1v4 with a Deeg and armor. Bomb on his back at the very, very least. And he might just try and run the gauntlet into this B bomb site. If he was fast about it, he could get in and get this bomb down without anyone there to contest him.
Now, I think our resident Dane here at DreamHack, Pimp CSGO, he did call dominant victories for NIP. He said Astralis won't get 10 rounds. And, well, right now, Harry, he seems to be right. You know, just going off the data we have, maybe not. Astralis, can they do anything here? Not in this one. Magisk is in a 1-on-4. He's been good, but not this good. Oh dear, not even the first kill. It's NIP on map point on their pick. Astralis have gone for Nuke as the second of this series, and of course, typically a very good Danish map, but right now there's just so many question marks on any map, you know, just the second this team joins the server. So, you know, that's not a guaranteed, that's not a lock-in by any means of the word, but hopefully Astralis can put up more of a fight moving forward. They're not done yet, though. They've got another buy round before we head there, and let's see if NIP can close this out without dropping a round in the second half. Double ult for them. Device has got his, and Astralis heading heavy towards B.
Yeah, Hampus has been getting a little bit aggressive over here towards B, and so Astralis tried to take advantage of that by setting up here early on. Hampus hears all the footsteps and just wasn't keen to stick around. Now, NIP have doubled up in pop. Rez and Plopsky are here, and Magisk has just peeled away from this position. He was keeping an eye on the Pop Dog flank. There's the AWP device delivering one. Yugi gonna come in with another, and now this pop flank trying to come through. Magisk, what's the timing gonna be like on this for him? He's just falling back as Rez gets on up, and now we're into this 3-on-3. They've seen one man on the wrap. They haven't seen that Plopsky's here as well. Twist, a lone AWP coming in through the CT side as they try and split into this bomb site. Yugi gonna find his 10th kill in the round, and Plopsky gets that trade. Twist up close, removes Snappy. Suddenly, it's all left onto Device to deny the victory to NIP. 1v2, and he does shut down the first man in, looking for the second. Twist, dancing around, and it's the no-scope to find the kill, but there's no time for the defuse. Astralis, they'll narrowly get this 8th round. They'll just about keep their heads above water, but the ship still feels like it's sinking. They need 7 in a row if they want to take this one to overtime.
At least, you know, those rounds are still Astralis, right? Like, the ones Device should always just be winning a 1-on-2 with the bomb planted with an AWP on B. Like, that's his round through and through. Even though he dies, you know, he still wins it for Astralis. That's what matters. But it's such a heartbreaking situation at Astralis. They win their first rifle round, their first round of the T side, up against 15, and they have no one surviving, Harry. So look at the money. It's AKs, it's Galils, it's a Mac 10. They don't have this AWP, and they've just got to rush B. Literally no other choice. If they go anywhere else, they'll get made mincemeat, and they still might here on this inner site. Plopsky up the ladder, finds Magisk again. He's been getting the worst end of the stick here on these flanks. Plopsky's not going to commit with it. The entire round, Astralis are going to be scared of their backline. Snappy has smoked it, but it's actually all coming from CT and Connector. NIP grouping. Plopsky is very late here, and the time is ticking again for NIP. They can't afford to lose this one to the clock, as they have the superior weaponry. They should definitely give this a go. Ooh, I think it's lost at this point.
Yeah, this time's ticked down very, very far. And with Device and Yugi both putting up kills, NIP, best thing to do is going to be to try and hold on to these guns. And they do get dealt with it as they exit from the bomb site. Now, Norg trying to save this up, and they're close to him, but he gets away somehow. Some way. He's been able to retreat back into CT.
Snappy ran right by him, but he was looking at Connector and trying to save the AWP. So actually, he was like fully open to killing that AWP, and instead, yeah, he just gets a shot off and runs away. Like, fair play. It's good that NIP saved one. They came into the round with 2, and that was a very late retake. Obviously, Plopsky, I understand why he doesn't want to commit to the flank there after showing his hand so early. He's done it already in the previous 2 rounds on B, so it's I guess the right call there, but it just buys so much time for Astralis with Plopsky coming back to reunite with his team. And in all of that, Snappy smoked the flank anyway, so that was like another 15 seconds that even if Plopsky didn't rotate round, he was screwed. So an eco for NIP, a round for Astralis to build into, and maybe, just maybe, Harry, we're going to have a competitive game after all. Maybe Pimp did jinx it. We'll see.
NIP are still toying with the idea of going for this round, despite being in this 4-on-4. And with that kill coming in and so much time ticked off of this, I imagine they're going to try and save. Yugi will kind of cement it with that kill onto Hampus, and yeah, it's just the AWP and the AK left. And Plopsky and Norg, they're not fools. They know that they have a lot more to lose than gain from going for this round. They're going to back on off. Astralis will reach double digits. They get 10. The thing that Pimp said could not be done. That's how we'll remember him, of course. And against his fellow countrymen.
I still think it's a fair prediction, right? Like, you know, other than like this realistically, you can make an argument this game should already be over, right? Twist hitting that no-scope with maybe 6 seconds on the clock, like very close defuse. This could have been done before Astralis got their first T-side round. So the fact they're still in this game is really well played from them, but obviously a little bit also out of their hands. Let's see if they can keep it going. Nork, oh, he goes fast, but he can't hit the shot. Magis, he is deep in the site already, pushed out through T-Con and waiting for the smoke to fade. If anyone makes a shot, if anyone makes a noise, he can spam back, but NIP are being fairly silent. Popsky's moved back, and that's probably the right call. He almost died there. Magis dropping the man in pop instead, and oh, here's the smoke fade. Popsky on the corner gets caught. Nice shot from Magis. Jiggles the angle, and Nork gets overwhelmed from the pop play of Dupree. It's just Hampus off of B, a long way away, and right now Astralis are really gunning for overtime. This is going to break NIP's money here and now, so Hampus might as well give this a go.
Oh, but now they know, and Device just takes the fight, nice and confident on him. 11 for Astralis, 4 in a row needed, and a weird spot for NIP to be in terms of the money. Short tech pause cooled on in by the looks of things. What's the solution going to be here for NIP? Because Astralis, you know, they've started to feel a bit more confident in these last few rounds. You know, like everyone's just kind of taking fights, and not necessarily fights that they 100% need to. Like, you know, Device didn't need to swing into con there at the end and battle Hampus when he was trying to save, but he does it because he's believing that he's going to hit the shot. And so, you know, things like that can go a long way, especially because, you know, you do have like this kind of core of Astralis up towards the top of the board right now in Dupree, Device, and Magisk.
(5-1-1) in their last 7 on train, including a win against Astralis. Yeah, I mean, you know, that's the thing. NIP, they've beaten Astralis before in this year with Astralis' full roster, albeit with NIP with Let going often. But yeah, that's why we know that this series is still exciting, still entertaining, because even though Astralis don't have, you know, their classic 5, I mean, the core should be enough to take them over the line, and right now it's at least making it competitive. NIP on an eco, nade stack in main. They know Astralis have gone fast, and they want to put a stop to it. Avoided by Device very well. That was 4 grenades, or 3 grenades rather. NIP have 2 more left on inner, boost up in the connector. Anything NIP get in this round is good, right? They're just looking for a couple of kills. If they can save a gun, that'd be nice as well, but Astralis aren't going to make it easy for them. They've actually crept into A, and no one's realized how deep Astralis are. Magis, surprise, surprise, finds Rez up in the heaven. Nork and Plopsky on the site. Some missed shots, recovers well, and now the bombs at their feet and some guns also. NIP, can they get away with this round? This is ridiculous.
3 bullets in this Deagle for Plopsky though, and that nade going on in. Gonna find some damage onto Yugi and co, but oh, Plopsky's just getting pressured from all angles. He's still alive. He's still dancing around, but his time on this earth draws to a close as Device deals with him.
Ooh.
And then follows up onto Nork. So Astralis, they regain control of that round, just about. They're able to deal with the what felt like a bit of impending doom in that A-bomb site. They beat the Deagles eventually. Oh my, they could take us to overtime here.
Yeah,
Hugo. There's going to be, you know, at most 2 more rifle rounds in the chamber for NIP to get this one over the line.
Another AWP for NIP, not double AWPing, they had the money for it, but, you know, these retakes have been rough with them. Nice grenade, Snappy gets absolutely dunked on, 50. For him and Dupree as well, elsewhere, tagged in T-Con. Might have been an AWP or bang. No, it couldn't have been. The AWP's on B right now. Nork is playing up with Hampus as well. He still has his full set of util. Rez, ooh, that's a little bit hot there. Gonna smoke the molly, but obviously deep, and it doesn't do anything to the flames close to him. Will keep him alive though, as Astralis don't drop into the Molotov. We see teams like Mousesports do that a lot. Rops will get his teammate to drop a molly and then fall into it, knowing that the molly damage done via teammates is lower than opponents or your own. And so that's like a nice little trick that you can abuse in your pugs. Astralis full util over the A site. They're going to hit it, and they're going to hit it quick.
Yeah, Plopsky's been having a stellar game though, and this is where he resides. This has been his proving ground. pushes up close to this defensive main smoke, and he's looking to have a bit of a say as to how this round pans out. He tries to hide in the smoke, and he gets spammed to death. Now it's Rez's turn to step on up, and while he does get away with damage, it's not quite the killing blow onto Magisk or Snappy. No, because he's going to spot the man up on top of the trains. He's looking into main, but these players are already up and past him. They're already near this site. Hampus, good for one, follows up with another, and now the bomb dropped. Yugi falls, the round draws to a close, and with it, the game as well. At IP, they do manage to pick it up. They end up in what was a 2-on-4 right? And they managed to get all the kills needed. So quite the turnaround in that one round from at IP. Astralis, it was a nice attempt to get things over the line and make that comeback happen, but ultimately they're not able to do so.
Yeah, I mean, you know, at least we see a bit more of the Astralis that we wanted to see near the end of that game. Hopefully that's like momentum they can carry forward to Nuke, which is of course the next map of this series. It is going to be Astralis' pick as well. So still a chance at a competitive game, and hopefully a 3-map series from Astralis. We'll see if they can take Nuke away from the Ninjas in just a moment. So join us after the break.
Hey, it's me, Lily from AT&T. I'm back, working from home, and here to help.
Hey Lily, I'm hearing a lot about 5G. Should I be getting excited?
Depends. Are you gonna want faster speeds?
I will.
More reliability?
Oh, also yes.
Better response times?
Definitely.
Are you gonna be making sourdough bread?
Oh, is that 5G related?
No, it's just like, why is everyone making sourdough now? But yes, you're gonna want 5G.
AT&T is building 5G on America's best network. Visit att.com to learn more.
I was focused on the limelight. You were in the way the world was calling. Felt like we'd never get the time right. No, I wish I could have stayed. I catch you. So let me belay now. I'm here, take my hand. I won't lead you astray. No, I won't ever let you go. I promise you won't be alone. End of the day, even if we crash and burn together. Even if we crash and burn together.
Well, what do you know? It would appear as though the Ninjas in Pyjamas don't want to play overtime after all. When we look at this series, and it's already started off in a banging way, that being Snappy and the Astralis company, just trying to get things back in order here. And of course, find a little bit of rhythm to their rhyme, a little bit of pacing in their step as they start to walk back the second half. It's Nip that has the answer and ultimately gets it done at the end of the day, grabbing our first map of the series. Train. That leads us to talk about Nuke and Overpass next, but this game got absolutely closer than it had to, and of course that's courtesy of the Ninjas in Pyjamas on their second half. I've got Jacob and Matthew here to break it down for us, so let's start with you, Jacob. What'd you see? What'd you like?
I mean, courtesy of NIP making it close. I'm not too sure about that one. I think Astralis did show up, you know, and did put up on a fight at the very last stages of these games. But overall, it was as we expected. NIP being the better team throughout. I think they put on a lot of pressure towards Astralis. They tried to make this little mini comeback in the first half, and it was looking all right for the Astralis boys. But let's be honest, right now you cannot expect them to perform at this level, and it's just the way it is. I think Plopsky again showing why he's a superstar at the moment. I think he's playing some really solid Counter-Strike. Rest again having a great performance. He's been playing well the past 2 weeks, and I think that's the key to this NIP lineup. If you can enable Rest, Plopsky, and Nok at the same time, you have a sick trio right there. And they're playing well, and Astralis simply not strong enough to do anything about it. Just a quick note as well on Stabby. I think he had 9 kills 6 or 7 rounds into the game, and he finished at 15, right? So he completely cooled off after a strong start, and you can't have that.
Maniac?
Agree. No, listen, Plopsky, great game. When you look at the first half and NIP have 8 rounds on the T side, you know things are going to go south. You know this is going to be a very uphill battle for Astralis. They did the best they could. I actually thought that Astralis did a decent job at stopping the momentum of NIP, actually putting some rounds on the board, controlling some of these assaults. But you move over and you start to see the cracks. It's just not enough. And NIP were very much in shape, I think.
Yeah, and you know, I kind of want to go north with this, and I'm not talking about the Jutland team. I'm not talking about Albor. I'm talking about jumping into what is the second map of the series and what that leaves for us. Let's start to talk about Nuke and where we go from here. Is this something where Astralis gets back in the fight? Do we feel like they're going to have some resemblance of what they used to show us on Nuke?
I think NIP right now is playing a super solid Nuke. I think Nok in particular with the AWP on Nuke is going to be all over the place. So I'm looking forward to see what Astralis have in store for us. Now, if they don't get to start on the CT side, that's a big problem. And I think that's, again, the reason why I'm going to say pretty confidently right here that Astralis is not going to get to double digits either. I would love if they could pull it to a third map right here. I would absolutely love to see it, but I don't believe in it.
Let's talk about right now a stats helix, though, before we jump too deep into it. I do believe somebody has something very colorful to draw for us.
Yeah, I want to get my hands dirty. I want to play with this new toy that I was given by a DreamHack. So I want to show a round from NIP where I think they reacted in an absolutely best way. So this is on their CT side. And as we can see, this is a pincer move coming in from Astralis. You'll see Magisk happily throwing his way down memory lane towards the B-bomb side. And if you're knocking, if you're Hampus, things are looking grim at the moment. It is already a very uncomfortable position, and things are about to get absolutely worse. Magisk is toying around with Nok, and soon the kill will fall. And if I can pause it now, let me just put it this way. If you're Hampus, you can die from approximately 4 different ways that Astralis can actually toy with you and completely destroy you. And just look at his reaction and look at how much time he is going to waste. Hampus manages to stay alive for so long in such an uncomfortable situation. It gives time to res and twist to actually win their duel over here. And another timing is Plopsky here, because this took so many time. Plopsky just barely passed by Device. He's going to win that duel over here. Now you have Dupree, poor Dupree, left in a 1 versus 2 res to the backline with the AWP. Plopsky's coming in from behind, and there you have it. That was a beautiful reaction from NIP. There was so many different ways they could have lost this round. It was so well played by Hampus, just staying alive, giving time to twist in the res to retake the position. That was very well played.
Yeah, and we're going to have to see if Astralis can come back fighting harder, stronger, and hitting more shots. I want to see how much more mobile Magisk can get outside, perhaps even inside, as we look at Nuke, the next map of this series. The pick of Astralis and Nip are going to be starting on the CT side. That means that we go to a break. When we come back, we jump pretty much straight into the action. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We will be right back after this message.
time. Sipping in a high, we caught a fever for two. Go together like neon in the night. I know I'm better with you. I know that you see me.
Welcome back to DreamHack Masters Spring 2020. We do have the next map of the day up for you guys. It's Astralis taking on NIP. Now, I, for one, got a little bit nippy in the studio here, Harry, so I've decked myself out with a nice little scarf here just to really warm up. Well, that's Astralis. That's what Astralis, rather, need to do moving into the second map. They showed us a bit of life at the end of Train, and now they need to bring it back in Nuke.
Yeah, they really do, right? And a bit of a grim stat, considering like Nuke was always a good map for the Astralis squad. Since having Snappy and Yugi join the ranks, they actually haven't picked up a win on this map yet. So, yeah, it's a little bit grim, you know, especially because you look at some of the teams they lost to, right? Like ENCE, Vitality, for example. These aren't... It doesn't bode well in my head, but let's see if maybe they can turn it around. Here in the pistol, lots of nade damage raining on in. Brings a lot of the Astralis boys down low. And speaking of going low, they're going to duck down in towards this B bomb site. And that bomb plant will be afforded to them at the very, very least. There's a kit on Hampus in this retake, and 3 players trying to get through the ramp. They get snapped up by Dupree and co. And now Plopsky, the only man left standing in this 1v4. So it goes from a 4-on-4 to all 4 players surviving for the Astralis side in a matter of moments. And that pistol round gets locked on in.
Yeah, right, and you mentioned the fact that Astralis, yeah, they may have been struggling on this map as of late with this roster, but you have to remember it's not a go-to for NIP by any means of the word. It is one of their least played maps in terms of all the maps they do play, right? With the exception of Dust 2, their typical insta-ban. So, yeah, I mean, NIP beat Vitality on this map, though, and Vitality beat Astralis. So if we go on the food chain, Harry, if we look at the pyramid, well, that says that NIP are going to beat Astralis here and now. I don't know if it's that simple, though. And considering if we had come into Nuke with the last map ending how it maybe should have, or at least you could argue that, with it being a 16-7, with Twist in that one-on-one killing Device, well, I don't know how much faith I would have had, but Astralis made that map competitive. They put a bunch of rounds at the end of it and, you know, got a huge T-side streak before they were finally put to a close. So, yeah, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt here. I'm going to assume that Astralis can put up a fight and take us to overpass, but a pistol round start for them, that will certainly set them up. NIP with a force buy, though, not going to be letting go of the reins easily.
Yeah, let's see what these Deagles can accomplish in this round. There's a scout as well on Twist, and that's over here outside. However, he's got to watch out because they are closing the gap, and they actually start to make their way up into heaven. Dupree is very, very fast on his approach here, and that might catch NIP by surprise. He's got teammates falling in behind him as well, and this A site now is very much compromised, and NIP don't really know to what extent. Well, they spot the man over here at the vents. Hampus has been shut down by Dupree, and now that information's been grabbed, this round is very, very tricky for the NIP squad, and they know it. They're trapped in hell. It's a very awkward situation to be in. You can't really get up into heaven. And yeah, with this exchange going down, it's only further solidified that fact. They now know that there's 2 players up here in the heaven position, one of them being Magis, the other being Dupree. And NIP, this hell area ends up being like a cage almost. They are trapped in it and have nowhere to go.
Yeah, this ain't hell for Plopsky, it's purgatory. He's stuck between the 2 bomb sites. He can't go anywhere, and he's just got to wait out the round while he looks to save this Deagle. He knows Astralis are above. He knows that they're outside, and so really there's nothing he can do but hide. Magis might still come for this kill anyway. He's got a UMP. He can make that $. Device on the wrap round. Already taken down a man from outside this position. Plopsy's got a scout at the very least, but ooh, it's getting close. He does just hit the timing and get away without getting spotted. So 2 weapons saved here. And, you know, the benefit to this, Plopsky, throw over the scout, give that to Twist or Nork. I guess not Nork because he's got armor Deeg. Unless Nork gives his Deeg over, you get the idea. NIP are going to spread their minimal weaponry around the team. Astralis, they've got another decent buy, another bonus as they look to make the money and get off to a strong lead on the T side of their map pick.
Fast outside smokes. And it's the standard ones that let you get this cross down to secret. Now, NIP aren't aware of how many players have slipped on into the back line, but they have kept things even in a 4-on-4. The problem is they just don't know the extent to which this B site has already fallen. With 4 players here for Astralis, there's not really much you can do on the NIP side. Scout's going to try and tag some of these players up, soften them up maybe for the pistols, but never survives the journey. Device is already on the angle. Magisk has even pushed up close to ramp. He's looking to get stuck in. He just mows them down like it's casual. And this leaves Nork all alone. 1v3. I'm going to try and maximize his damage if he can. But it's not going to happen, is it? Astralis 3-0 as they find the conversions on the back of this pistol. And now we have the investment coming through for NIP.
And it's going to be a good buy as well. NIP not, fully queuing the second to buying the third. They stall it out so the loss bonus is higher, and as a result, they have more. Wow, maths, it's kind of basic. Twist, he's got an AWP as well. He doesn't have any armor behind it, so he needs to watch out. Where are we going to see him take that? Very passive. He's not even crossing the garage. He's going to hide hell side, waiting for these T's to cross outside. Astralis is giving him that at least. He won't even get the info. He falls back to spawn. So that means that NIP with this position now need to rotate someone lower. And so Nork is dropped into secret to deny this passage for Astralis. There's only one man here, but I say only, it's Device. Maybe not words that should go side by side. He is lethal. Nork needs to be careful. So a smoke down, he falls back. Device will leave secret and go join Astralis outside. They're actually dropping, or taking ramp rather. They can drop to B, but Device has been cut off from his point. So he might just wait for the rest of Astralis to take control towards B, have Nork be distracted, and then he can come in later. Right now he's dueling outside. Snappy's killed a lobby push, and this is a great round from Astralis, waiting for NIP to come to them. This hell play is going to be the object of their desires. They don't want that B bomb site after Device has dropped a man in main or done damage to it. It's res low on the A site, and Astralis are fighting for him.
Has one kill from Rez, and now he's ready for a heaven peak. Flash goes in, Rez on the angle. Does get bested after getting those 2 kills, but it's left Nork in a doable spot. Snappy gets that trade, and Astralis will grab that 4th round. Now that one, I don't know about you, Hugo, but that felt a little bit sloppy from NIP for me just then. Right, Twist falling back into CT spawn with the AWP, and then the player that was at ramp rotates down towards secret to hold on to B, right? And I think that makes a lot of sense as to how they played it in that area. But in doing so, they completely gave up ramp, right? Yeah. It's really not uncommon to see if that's how you're going to play it and you're going to rotate a player down to that B site, to have your outside player take up hell, keep an eye on the ramp for him. Because once they'd given that up, it just gave such a huge portion of real estate to Astralis for free. And even though they end up going back up towards A, Twist, rotating him from CT spawn, almost looks surprised at the fact that they were in hell, like just blindsided by the fact that there were players there.
Right there is like exactly how Mad Lions like to play this map, and what they showed us yesterday is Astralis like making NIP think they know what's going on, but because Twist is never spotted outside and they saw players, or at least Device in secret, I think NIP just assumed that Astralis are doing the same as the last round and rushing a lot yard behind the smokes down to B, but it's not the case. And so NIP, they rotate for a contingency that is really only a lurk for Astralis, and they set their entire CT side to play around that lurk thinking there's more than one man. And yeah, that's just the, I guess misdirection is the word, right? That's what we used yesterday. And Astralis, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. They've got the ideas. Glaive or no Glaive, Zonic is still here, and the boys that joined Glaive on the journey to the top certainly know what they like to do on this map, and how to make NIP fall for your tricks. So yeah, it's just Astralis, being Astralis on Nuke. They do love it. They're showing us why. 4-0 up right now. Economy is not there for Nip. There should be a 5th. Look at the control. Astralis are on the heaven position. Now, there is a man in rafters. Magist, does he realize? He runs away. He goes back in and with a pre-fire finds Norg. Now this should just be Astralis slamming down the hammer on the head of Hampers, hidden in the site. 15 seconds. They needed that kill. That just covers the heaven position. And Twist just doesn't even consider going up the vents. Norg got a kill on the ladder in the last round, but I can't say that one's going to come through here.
I have a lot of bad memories of NIP on Nuke from Pro League and the Road to Rio, right? Like, I don't know, this map feels like a bit of a weird one for them. And I think one of the problems for them a lot of the time is dealing with this outside control. And that doesn't just apply to the CT side. I think their T side outside control is another weird one. I would love to see them dedicate just a little bit more here, right? Whether it's putting a man early on down into secret, right, to try and hold it down from that position and maybe support Twist outside, or just something along those lines. Because right now it feels like they're kind of flying blind a lot of the time. And with Astralis just being given this outside control a hell of a lot, they're allowed to do some terrifying stuff with it. You know, we've seen these heaven wraps, we've seen these fast secret plays. There's a lot of versatility that if a team who gains outside control and kind of has like a purpose and a destination, they can achieve a lot with it. And well, Astralis, they know the destination. It's to the stars. That's where they're looking to end up. And in this round, we do see Nork taking up this secret position with the AWP, this double AWP set up in play, and he's here to assist Twist. I like this change. Let's see if it gives them the results they're hoping for, though. This round, only one man outside as the rest of Astralis try and breach into the A bomb site. Hampus looking to hold it down from behind. The silo is only good for one before Snappy trades, and these rotations have got to be quick. The utility's already cutting NIP out of the round. And Astralis, they should be onto a 6th here with a save coming through for NIP.
Yeah, it's a big kill from Snappy there. That pretty much wins Astralis around. He crouches and he waits for the repeat. He knows that Hampus on the site is going to be, you know, just pivoting and swinging and looking for kills because he thinks he's being rushed. But Astralis, they throw a player through main and then everyone just stops and waits for that repeat. They know Hampus has to give them something eventually, and it's so quick. Snappy hits a shot, no trade for NIP, a man down, A lost. Yeah, it's a save every day of the week. NIP are going to get out of there alive and at least save 3 guns. It's a good save, but it's an even better round. And Astralis, they're full of them. 6-0 up on this T side. They just needed some time to warm up today, Harry. The T side of train, the latter stage of that half may have been what has really woken them up in this series. And right now they are putting the hurt the way of NIP. Yeah, look at that. Oh, just Hampers, no chance. Double AWP, that's a surprise. That's a real surprise. Astralis have been crunching A, so, you know, like, I'm interested to see what NIP want to do with this, but it's going to hamstring you if Astralis keep going for these quick A splits from pretty much everywhere, right? You can have one outside, one ramp, but let's see if they have any results. Device denies the first, and now Nork is the only AWP rotating towards B. But Astralis, they don't want B. They're going to continue to pressure that top site. Snappy's got another pick there. He's going to turn back for the lobby fight. Snappy is looking good, and he's got a third through the smoke. Wow. Get out of here, Nip. Astralis running the board.
So on a level of 1 to 10, Hugo, how terrified do you reckon Nork is right now? He doesn't know where anyone is. He's over here at ramp, and he wants to hold on to this AWP if he can. Now, yeah, look at this. He's going to hide behind the box. Now, this is the grossest spot in Nuke. He can just sit here. He's got a lot of sight lines open, and it's a bit of an awkward angle for Astralis to check. I imagine that they're pretty keen to find Nork if they can.
You think?
You could definitely afford to throw at least 1 or 2 players at this problem if you're Astralis. And Dupree, there he is. They've given him permission. They've let him off the leash, and he does do a lot of damage onto Nork. Now they know where this AWP resides, and look at that. The attack dog of Dupree has sniffed out this lone saving player, and the rest of Astralis are hounding him down. Nork is getting pressured from seemingly every angle. He's still alive, but not for long. Magis comes in, gets the kill. They lose 2 players. That's fine for Astralis. Money is fantastic right now. They're 7-0 up. And the implications of what it does to NIP are far worse than what losing those 2 players is to Astralis. So,
yeah.
Nice hunt at the very end there.
It was worth noting, you know, firstly, excellent round for Snappy, but he was even coming in from B, right? Like, say Nork hits some banging shots there and gets out with more than a couple, like, he's dead. There's nothing he can do. And after he killed that first man, you almost see this, like, look of worry on his face where he's like, oh, damn it, now they know where I am. I have 10 health. I can't escape the bomb. But if you have 10 health and they plant A, the only places you can save are secret, T-spawn, CT spawn, or where he was behind the box at ramp. You take no damage there, but like, you know, you move anywhere else and you're going to be dead. So yeah, he knows he's pretty much trapped there and just has to go down with a bang and take as many players out as he can. Astralis 7-0 up. This is excellent. This is classic. And it's their T side, which is the most ridiculous part. Twist pushing yard. We've got to buy here for NIP. NIP haven't hard ecoed these rounds. They've been continuing to put economy in, which is fine, but they're not getting any results behind them, which I guess is less than fine. And obviously these buys are a little bit weaker as a result because of the lack of ecos. There's no Molotovs, there's no kits. There's Famas is in play. Oof. Nork, great position. Not a standard one, and he will get a shot off and the chance to drop. No one even trading him on his way down. Astralis, they've got to check for Twist. They do, but he gets away with a double before anything comes through. Yugi with the trade. But boy, oh boy, he's lost his teammate atop the silo, and he's stuck in a clutch.
Yeah, and look at NIP, right? They're so hungry to get this first round. They've pushed into the lobby. They're wrapping Yugi. He's trying to keep his eye on it, but there's players back in T-Spot as well, and that's him removed. NIP, they're going to find their first round. I do love that position from Nork, man. Like, it's great to just gimmick that one kill.
Yeah.
Gets it, jumps down, gets out of danger, and is still allowed to be a presence outside, right? Still afforded this kill later on onto Snappy.
The danger of that position, the reason you won't see it often is if you're playing it as a CT, no matter your spawn, if the T's ever rush outside, they beat you there, and they catch you mid-air. Like, that's the timing. They see you when you're jumping to garage, and that's not a good timing at all. So, obviously, the risk is there that you hope Astralis don't play their spawns, but at this kind of level, you know, if you're NIP, you know what Astralis are doing, you know how to read them, you know that Astralis aren't, you know, MMW holding their way to red. Not all the time, at least. And so, yeah, he makes the right read and the right call on the right round.
Something that I think is interesting here is that there was a second AWP on device outside, and it looked like NIP picked it up at the end of the round.
Yeah, they picked it up and then they swapped it for an M4. They didn't want the double AWP. I can only assume that was, you know, by design, because it was picked up and then traded out immediately after. I think because Popsky had an MP9, so he just picked up the closest gun to him, which was an AWP, and then less than a second later, he found an M4, so he just took it. And I think NIP know that double AWP, it wasn't the answer. You know, the round they ran it did not help. One player just got stuck, Ramp having to save, and Twist was killed immediately outside. So, yeah, I don't think the double AWP is a solution right now for NIP, not with how Astralis are playing. And so, you know, four rifles and an AWP is definitely a safer call.
Plopsky and Twist, they have this crossfire set up down towards the B site. And Astralis, they've got all four players here. Plopsky yet to be spotted, just hidden in this corner, hiding close. And Yugi swings, but checks the wrong side. But Plopsky's time on this earth draws to a close pretty soon thereafter. This B site overrun by Astralis, but the rotates are coming on through, and this bomb's going to go down. There's 15 seconds, and the bomb is not yet planted. Device gets spotted down in the vents, and it's going to get dealt with.
Oh, the wrap round for Dupree. Perfect timing on the ramp play, but just sitting on the bomb, and Rez was not ready for that fight. It's Nork alone in a 1-on-2. No kit, no chance. Dupree's going to hit the shot, and wow, what a round for Astralis, man. NIP, they get on the board, they instantly get reset like that. I love the position from Plopsky, actually. He's sitting in the forest spot next to double doors where you're exposed to decon, but he's actually crouched. And so as a result, the decon player who's opened the door physically can't see him, and he's able to kill Device coming through the double door with his back turned. Device thinks it's clear because it's been spotted by his decon player, but like I said, Plopsky was crouched, and so he avoids that. Nice little idea there. Still another round for Astralis. Twist feels the need to get aggressive, and they actually do have a double AWP, Harry. They've gone right back to it. It's not going to work, though. At least not one of them.
Yeah, this AWP on Nork feels like it's delivering a lot of the time outside. And this round, he's put them back into a 4-on-4. And Plopsky's now going to extend this round back into Nip's favor. But Magisk, ooh, gets up close. However, Nork, quick reaction, is able to find that kill. And so for Astralis, it's Dupree and it's Snappy left in this one in a 2v4. They're going to group back up in the lobby. And look like they want to try and get into this A bomb site, but a nice preemptive rotation from Nork finds his way up into heaven, and he's here to help out. As he's dropped down into the site, he has this crossfire set up with Hampus, who's holding onto the hut. These players have gotten out through the door, but Nork is going to check it and follows up with a nice double there. That's 4 in the round in total for him. And Yeah, at this point, I think keep the AWP on Nork, man. He's been finding it so many of these kills, especially outside. Like, that shot there is incredible. We didn't catch that one. That was off camera. And then the quick reaction onto Magisk. It feels like he's feeling it, and Twist, a lot of these rounds, when he has had the AWP, has just given up these man advantages.
Yeah.
So, I can't, yeah, there we go. They make the decision. All right, Nork, you've earned it, bud. Hold on to the big green gun and do us proud.
I like that, right? Because when we talk about pressure of players, like of 6 or 7 man lineups, and like, oh, that's going to create pressure. Like, this player feels like they need to perform because otherwise they'll get replaced, which is obviously, you could argue, is a good pressure, I think. You know, having 2 very capable AWP players is also, I think, a good bit of pressure in not the same sense, but in a similar way. Like, you know, obviously there's going to be a point where Twist goes, yeah, man, take it. I'm not feeling it. Like, they're all on the same team at the end of the day. But in the same vein, you know, the better AWP in the map is more likely going to get given the AWP, right? You could assume. And so, yeah, it's just a nice bit of pressure to perform there for Nork and Twist. And Nork, well, he certainly is right now, 11-6. We've seen this guy have some unbelievable games inside of this NIP roster. And, well, this would be one time to show up right now when NIP are down in this map. Nork making first contact in the round. It's Secret, it's Yugi, and it's the AWP. Oh, what a shot. Nork, he tries to move out and back in, but if anything, the movement is what gets him killed. Standing still might have been the shot, and Yugi will hit it. Vent rotate comes through for Res, he hits the timing, but Magisk is ready. Only a dink. That's the bomber spotted, but still the kills for Astralis. They don't care about the information. They just care about the trades, and they've got them all. Nice shot from Hampus inside of main. He's going to drop Vent to B. That's where the bomb is. But not for long. Oh, Dupree.
Oh dear. Hampus has no clue that Dupree is up on the rafters, but he's dodged it and he's gotten away. And it will just have to be the save. There's not really much else you can attempt here if you're Hampus. He's backing on out. It's a 9th round on the board for Astralis. Their new game still looking great here. And NIP really struggling right now. And that struggle is kind of set to continue. They've never really had money. And I think, you know, like the cash would make all the difference, right? Like when Astralis are going for these outside smokes, one of the things that you often see when that kind of standard, you know, red smokes go down is there's 2 ways you can try and use utility there. You can either molly the smoke for the run and you can follow it up with nades to do damage on the players crossing, or you can just throw the Molotov where the smokes land to try and leave yourself a gap. And it feels like, you know, we haven't really had that utility outside. And so as a result, NIP, they're very much relying on winning these fights early and gambling these rotates at the right times, and it's just not working right now.
Twist is back on the AWP though, Harry. He's taken over Nork here, 3-10. That's a decision I just definitely don't agree with right now, and let's see if I get proven wrong. I'd like that to happen, but also I'm just surprised at the call. Nork, he's taking Secret instead. Don't necessarily need the AWP here, of course. Hampus, getting aggressive. He's being watched. Snappy doesn't react. He's blind, but he gets the kill anyway. I don't know what's going on. That should have been no one's kill, really. But someone's got to take it. And Astralis will. A man up in this round. Nork still has yet to move inside of the Secret. And Astralis have yet to show him any face outside. Dupree's looking atop the silo, but other than that, he will not. He will see nothing. NIP are heavy stacked on this A site right now, just gambling. Ramp is fully open, so if Astralis do their classic outside play and split ramp with it, they're going to have a free round for them. Yeah, and when you're NIP in this position, it just does feel like you have to gamble at times. You have to give positions away because what else are you going to do? Astralis are surely going to trade you if you put someone on ramp here at a bare minimum. So they give it up. They let me just run round lower. Nork's in the garage rather not in Secret, so he can't actually stop this. He can only spot this, and it's going to be an A play for Astralis. Nice and fast into the stack.
Oh, Device is able to get down the vent. Now this 1v3 and a B plant available to it, but this is a very, very tall order. Device going to start to plug in the numbers, and these rotates taking a little while to come through. Device can try and deal with the first man in and does drop Nork on this rotate. But he's going to have to do a little bit more than that. Plopsky does get the trade, and with it, there will be a 3rd round found for NIP. just about as they deal with this one. They don't give Device the room to maneuver there in that 1-on-3. They just group up, they play together, they trade off of one another. They don't let any kill go unpunished. And so finally we see the kind of merit as well of having Nork out in this garage position, because it feels like a lot of the time he's just been stuck there waiting around to kind of have an impact. There you finally see why they've been running it so much. You know, he's able to cut down these players as they try and split into the A bomb site. Money's not really been a problem for Astralis. That tends to happen when you're 9-3 up, so they're going to be able to reinvest here and now. And a fast A play, bit of a change of pace as they just blitz their way in through the door. They're able to get past Rez. They deal with Hampus as well. Twist is up in heaven with this AWP, and we want him to come alive. We want to see a bit more from Twist on this big green gun. Unable to find anything as this bomb plant looks to come through. Spam from Nork, almost on the mark, but not quite.
Astralis is a completely different team to the one we saw on Train. They often let kills go untraded and you know, let advantages lie in the favor of NIP, but it feels like any time NIP get a kill, Astralis will swing that player and get back in control, back in the advantage. And this is exactly what we wanted from this team really all day long. Right now, NIP silent inside of this map. I feel like they're just excited to get on the T side at this point. They do need more rounds. They can't get 12-3. That will not be pretty. And yeah, NIP probably just wanted to control the pace, because right now Astralis are dealing them every difficult hand. And they've had a lot of variety as well. It's not been like, oh, Astralis have figured out the one weakness of NIP and they've just abused that for 10 rounds in a row. No, they've done everything. They've ramp split, they've top hit, they've dived vent, they've pushed behind the smokes, they've wrapped heaven. Like, you know, what else can you ask from Astralis in this game? They're doing it all. Maybe NIP can ask Astralis for mercy, but I don't think they're going to be giving much out right now. 2 rounds left of the half. NIP saving for the last, and they've got pistols around the saved weaponry.
Twist has been spotted, and so his aggression outside does not give the results that NIP were hoping for. He goes from being someone looking to make a play to a bit of a liability. Now, there's a lot of other dudes here for NIP. And Device is certainly not prepared for this 4-man stack outside. It's a bit of an unorthodox round here from the Swedes. Device is rapping, and he's hunting these kills down. Deals with the first. He's isolating these fights very, very well. Not opening himself up to too many crosshairs at once. There's a Device taking down 3, spotting even more players here outside. Astralis, they seem pretty aware that this stack is in play, and they'll mop up the remaining players. So they get that 11th round on the board. The outside stack doesn't give the results that IP were hoping for. And once again, Twist is the first man to fall on the back of this push outside.
Yeah, a dangerous play, right? The red box, but he doesn't commit to it. He gets behind it, he gets spotted, like you say, and then he gets stuck. Like, oh, do I want to like risk dying here, or do I want to try and escape? Well, little does he know, trying to escape is risking dying. Astralis are pushed up close main wall, and they react very well to that information. Rez, big push here, but nothing from it. Only damage, the boxes, the gaps. They give Astralis a way back into safety, and another advantage going the way of the Danes. It's all just coming together for them right now. NIP, no kit, no warp, nothing in this round but rifles. Snappy is still holding the lobby as well. There's a bit of a push up on the ramp side. Plopsky is coming, and the bomb is re-entering lobby. This isn't a problem yet, because there are lots of Astralis players, but wow, that's a great shot. Snappy looking to double up. Plopsky's here, and Twist is baiting them in. That might give Plopsky a chance to wreak havoc here from the radio room. No one's even seen him yet. He's still waiting for the cross. Snappy goes for it. There's the bomb. Plopsky drops them both, and that's what we needed from this young player, leaving 2 up for Astralis, and a viable round for NIP.
Yeah, Nork is still down at the B site, though, still in these vents, and at this point in time, it's a little bit awkward for him. He's going to try and wrap back into the lobby, but Magisk has spotted him. Damage done by Nork. He's hounding down this bomb. He's trying to take this fight while he's got it. Device, while all this has been going on, is wrapped in through main, and Nork, well, he is going to react fast enough, but 2 points of health on him now, and Magisk still to deal with. Magisk up on top of main is hardly being discreet in his movements, but he's dropped this smoke to cut off this position. And he's going to try and play around it. Takes a peek on through and now runs down towards Secret, but Nork has heard all of this. Holds the angle, matches spots him, but Nork, 2 points of health, will find the kill, wins out that 1v2, and does take a 4th round on the board for NIP. Astralis still with quite the lead, and their CT side about to begin. They're looking to take us the distance here. Find out if the Danes can after a quick break.
I wanna leave, I gotta go. Now that I see that you feel nothing more at all. Walking the streets, a fork in the road. It's so hard getting back grounded when you fall. Time will tell if I ever will find somebody better, somebody better. Mend this broken heart that you have shattered. Nobody better, nobody better. She wanna kiss and hug Mariana. She wanna make love Mariana. She wanna be us Mariana, Mariana. How about today? She wanna be with me Mariana. She wanna be with Mariana. She wanna make love Mariana, Mariana. How about today? How about today? Mariana. How about today? How about today? Mariana, Mariana, yeah. Crazy that I've still been waiting for ya. Just tell me you're done and everything is over. Time will tell if I ever will find somebody better, somebody better. She wanna kiss and hug Mariana. She wanna make love Mariana. She wanna be us Mariana, Mariana. How about today? She wanna be with me Mariana. She wanna be with Mariana. She wanna make love Mariana, Mariana. How about today? How about today? Mariana. How about today? How about today?
Wow, 11-4 at the end of the first half of play. And Astralis, they've surprised us a little bit here. They've put up a very good T side in this game. And you can see that has shrunk the betway odds down quite a bit. NIP falling flat over on their CT side. And now moving into this pistol, it feels like a necessity if NIP want to come back into this game. Now, while they've gone for utility, Astralis have not. They've got armor across the board, not a single kit in play. NIP setting up for a fast A execute. Yugi and the rest of the gang stacked up by the door as this A play comes on through. The flash actually blinds the majority of NIP. That was their own flashbang. Luckily enough, they do find all the kills regardless, but that would have been one that you imagine the TeamSpeak wouldn't be too happy about if that had led to the demise of that round for NIP. Device and Snappy in this 2v5, they're not even going to give this round a go. Neither one of them have taken damage yet, so they're just going to try and hold on to this armor for a bit of a cheaper upgrade in the follow-up round. NIP, they will find the pistol. They do get this 5th round on the board, and so maybe there's still a chance at the comeback yet.
I'm going to hold out for the replays, but I'm pretty sure Rez jumping one tap to player on the top of the hut. I'm pretty confident that happened, Harry, and that is filthy. It feels weird that we're in a world where we start the half by saying, Astralis, they've surprised us. They're wrecking NIP. What a surprise. Like, that shouldn't be a surprise, but yet it still is. And right now, NIP looking to get back into the action. Nice shot from Device, holding on to his armor alongside Snappy, and that's going to be pistol for NIP. Let's look at this again. Rez. Oh, that's a triple burst, Harry. That's filthy. The last bullet of the burst mid-air. That's just filth.
We've got this force buy from Astralis. And they've got a lot of these SMGs, no head armor behind them, so that's always something to worry about. But it gives them something to talk about in this round at the very, very least. Now, with ramp control being given over to NIP, they are very, very fast to grab this control and get into hell. Nork has opened up at the A site, and so this bomb is going to rotate on in. A heaven plant is available with players in this position from this ramp take. And Astralis, they can't even attempt this one. All three of these players are down at the lowest site. There's no real way, no real avenue for them to rotate in. And even if they get into the bomb site, they don't have a kit for the bomb. They know that it's going to be a heaven plant with the players set up there in the post plant. And so they're just going to hold on to what they've invested into in this round. Give it another go in the next, but it will be this 6th on the board for NIP.
Yeah, I wonder how realistic this comeback is, right? Like how, I think we're all just waiting for Astralis' rifle rounds to figure out, you know, what kind of Astralis do we have? Are they going to be able to put a stop to these fast plays with trades? Are they going to, you know, get aggressive and try and force fights in the lobby because there are a lot of rounds up? I'm actually kind of excited, but that will be delayed for yet one more round while NIP go about their business and get rid of these anti-ecos. Get up to 7, which is the likely scoreline we'll see in just a second. Astralis, good round to get aggressive, good round to set up for a crunch in the lobby or even a stack on the site here, doesn't matter which. Something cheesy, something that NIP might just overcommit into without reading. Ooh, Plopsky gets the kill, then jumps. Better than the other way around. Even tapping to heaven as well to tag Yugi. Dupree gets aggressive to not good, or not much result rather. And NIP, they're just moving this bomb down to B here. Astralis have 2 players in position, but even then, AKs versus pistols should be a quick affair.
Ooh, yeah, okay. The ammo running low for Snappy means that he couldn't get much more done. And NIP, they're real sweaty in this round. They're not even committing to the B side play. They actually rotate up because North had already secured the A bomb site. And so Yugi is just left down at the B site all alone. Sad times for Yugi. He's got no friends to play with, maybe a weapon to retrieve. And in absence of friends, you know, material goods are often all right as well.
Does that do for you, Harry? Does that keep you going?
Yeah, man. I mean, like ever since I left the house, Hugo, and it's just you and Trace there now, I haven't had any friends, so I've just been buying loads of stuff. It's pretty cool.
What's your
Honestly, I much prefer my new stuff to hanging out with you two. So
yeah, I don't really blame you. Not at this point. Well, right now, NIP, they're hanging out in the T-spawn together. Little crowd of Swedes escaping this situation, escaping the detonation and finding 7 on this T side. Nice double for Snappy. In another world, that actually matters, but not in this one. All that's really going to do is give him 1,200 bucks to buy. And 11-7. Let's see what Astralis can do. This is it. This is the litmus test. Will this actually be a comeback for NIP, or will it be put to bed before it even begins? And Overpass is the 3rd map of this series, might even come through. NIP going into their first 4-buy round, still running an SMG, but that shouldn't be too much of an issue.
oh, Magisk is very, very blind. He was holding for this push from Rez and isn't able to adjust in time. Now, Device tries to take up position outside, and he's just about gotten away with his life intact. This has allowed for a secret play to come in, and this is where we're looking at Snappy, who's currently over towards ramp. He needs to begin a rotation down to this B site because it is now in the hands of NIP, and they are a lot deeper than he was ready for. Even that Molotov catches him by surprise. And now this retake has to come through in a 4-on-4. Now, bear in mind that while all this has been going on, Nork has kept up his position here in the door, and he's going to be able to deny these vent rotations. I mean, Astralis aren't even going for it. They're actually backing off. They're saving.
Yeah.
And so Nork might be able to find a few of these players on the exit.
This is something that Astralis, you may look at and laugh from the outside perspective, but this is something Astralis, I think, is a really good call. And it's they're only going to get it now. They're not going to be able to do this later when the scoreline gets close. But considering they have a lead, and they've lost a man, they've lost B, they have one kit, device is 1 HP on an AWP. Like, this is actually a really good call, because if Astralis went for this and they would lose it, which is, I think, almost guaranteed, considering NIP had 3 lower players, and like you said, Nork was still lurking, and Astralis didn't know that. But that's a great round for NIP. And so Astralis know that they can basically have another rifle round back-to-back here, whereas the alternative, if they go for that, is their full eco, or at least low economy here, and they have to take a breather. It means they just get another chance at this one. And, assuming they patch that hole, they don't let NIP get quick B, very different round now for Astralis. They've got everything they need for it once again.
Device is trying to go aggressive, but these mollies, these nades have brought him down very, very low. Device, well, he is good for one. It's only one shot that is required to deal with him. And Magis trying to spam this smoke, gets some returning fire of his own, both in the literal sense and the other literal sense, in the bullets and Molotovs come his way. Dupree trying to hold on to the lower site, and with that kill, he's dropped the bomb. A second does come in before Rez gets that trade. Now we're going to watch sneaky little Nork over at this A bomb site. Once again, going to try and cut down rotations, maybe secure a path in towards A. He does have Yugi to worry about inside of the site. As he swings on out, the kills just don't present themselves. Yugi is going to hold down A, and with those kills, he puts the 12th round on the board for Astralis.
Yugi needed that, right? Like, if he dies there to Nork, that's all over for Astralis. They gambled B, they were double on that lower site, and Yugi was alone here. Gets both good stuff, locks it down as the anchor, and that's what Astralis need to get back on the board. And now that save, Harry, in the previous round, it's all worth it completely, because Astralis win the follow-up, and they get on the CT side nice and early in the game. See if they can keep things moving. Device gets tagged going for the cross. It's a very dangerous cross. With the smoke down, that's just to cover the view, but NIP obviously get to yard first, and so they have tagged Device here. Wonder if they know he's in position. Doesn't look like it. He's going to peer around. Nork is waiting. Oh, looks away as Device gets a shot. Going back, and Plopsky playing with his food here. Maybe he should have just taken a bite out, because Device is looking dangerous right now. Magis covering, takes Plopsky off the top of the box, and Yugi's found Hampus elsewhere as well. This is a mess for NIP. Astralis getting back in control, winning every duel, and there's just nothing stopping them. Twist with 5 kills in the door, smoked off. Might as well just go through this one and give it a go. Gets a kill, but even though he actually technically has the A site, I don't think he's even going to go for the plant in a 1-on-4. He's waiting for kills, and they're going to come his way. Device, nice shot. And Astralis, they're back in control of this game.
One of the good things to come out of this temporary roster shakeup for Astralis is I feel like people like Device. I feel like it's a mixture of him feeling like he needs to make plays, but also like he just feels a lot more free to do it. He's pushing outside in these rounds with the AWP. He's getting in the face of NIP, and then he's got his old mate Magis to keep an eye on him and watch out. The ever watchful eye towards outside.
Snappy isn't going to tell Device not to go for a play.
No, exactly. Because it's like, what can you say? And you can't argue with the results either. Device has been good at finding these kills on these aggressive pushes, and he's looking to do it again. He's creeping over here towards the lobby, and he's got Dupree alongside him. Start to aggress, and they spot a man holding on, but no kill goes either way just yet. Now Device says, all right, Dupree, you had a go. You gave it a nice try, but let me show you how a real master does it.
Well, unfortunately, he won't get to show, because NIP have shown face towards yard. They pushed everyone here apart from Nork, who is back lobby side on the roof. Magis holding this cross. There's no smokes down for NIP, and there's only one left in the back pocket. So Magis can free fight here if he wants it. Rez will take him down, though. They'd already spotted him. And NIP, they can go anywhere with this. They've got Yard, they've got Mini, they've got T-Roof, and Nork can come in to try and get that lobby back under control. He doesn't know Device is still here. Remember that angle Device took? He's still on it. He hasn't moved a muscle, by the way. And so respect for that, but he can get caught by Nork, who comes in off this ladder late. He's not doing that right now, though. 28 seconds. NIP need to hit a site. They want A.
one of the things that we've said before with NIP is sometimes it can feel like when they get this control outside, they get a bit lost when they're going through the motions and they don't quite know what to do with it. And this round, you know, they've really taken their time and they were setting up for this A play, but so much time has gone off the clock. They just have to run in. They've got to commit. And in doing so, you know, they run into the firing squad of Astralis there. It's a bit of an awkward one because if you're Nip, you know, you end up in that 4-on-4. The world is kind of your oyster. I think it was Plopsky going down towards B is away from the rest of the team. He has to come back up late into main, isn't really able to help out. And this is all just because the time is so low. You've got no other choice but to try and get into that site and get that bomb down. And the fact that they try and expedite the process, you know, that they pick up the pace a little too much. They have to run the gauntlet. And there's a reason why that phrase, you know, doesn't sound like it's great, because it's not. And so now Astralis on 14, looking to take us the distance here. And they've certainly made a good case for it. Device getting set up down here in secret.
Ooh. Majiski's always been good at getting kills out, but this time he'll actually get traded after one. Plopsky's upgraded, and NIP, with their backs up against the wall versus 14, are looking to save their souls in this series. Of course, the third map round the corner if Astralis do make this happen. It's Overpass. In fact, the map NIP beat Astralis on to open EPL as well. So there's always that. Nice. Oh, good timing. Finds a shot to Rez. He's going to go back for more as well. One's already crossed out, though. He's got a flick off Device. Just, oh, what do you even do against that? Probably nothing. Probably lose. That looks like the game plan for NIP right now in a 1-on-3 with the bomb lost. Popsky, great position, but nothing to do with it, rather. And now he's been smoked off of the ramp as well. He's going to hide inside of it, wait for the fade. But he can't afford to wait 15 seconds. He's probably got to go sooner rather than later. Look at that clock. It's ticking down. No one's watching this. Dupree is looking, but Plopsky is deep enough that when this fades, Dupree won't have an angle. So Plopsky can start to clear out positions and give this one a go. There's a chance. There really is.
That's one, but one bullet in the gun. Yeah, not going to survive the journey. Yugi comes on in, gets the trade. 15 on the board for Astralis. Map point. Looking to get this one over the line. Looking to take us to Overpass. I'm kind of glad that we're getting 3 maps out of this one, right? When we saw these guys take each other on, Hugo, you spoke about it already back at Pro League with the full Astralis roster and back when Lecro was in NIP. NIP looked really good in that Overpass game, and we actually saw them take that series 2-0 convincingly over Astralis. So I can't wait to see how they stack up on this map. It's a fast A play, and it might be a fast ending to this game. Hampus, while he does get one, he's gone, and all the kills come through. It's Dupree with an 8. To end things out for Astralis, 16-8, and they take us to Overpass as our 3rd map.
Yeah, we theorized a little bit, Harry, if that warm-up at the end of training for 5 rounds in a row for Astralis, just kind of came out of nowhere and then ended with them losing the map. We're going to warm them up. We're going to get them ready because they did look so absent at the start of the day. But right now, showing up, their map pick, it goes excellently. They look in control, a dominant first half. NIP get the pistol. Astralis, all it took was the 2nd rifle round after a save in the 1st, and they just don't drop anything. So yeah, the Astralis we know and love are back to play and here to take us to Overpass as the 3rd map of the series. Remember, this is for elimination. This ain't for nothing. So whoever loses this is going home. Doesn't want to be NIP. Astralis don't want that either, but we're going to have to, unfortunately, kick someone out of the server in just a moment. So join us in a minute to see who that will be.
Flashbang's affected. They have got through the smoke wall here, but Chris J, he is the final boss of the bomb site.
Now Spitty and Chris J to keep Mousesports alive.
Oh,
Chris! He's found 3. It's down to a 2-on-2. Chris, can he close this with an ace? Oh my God!
Can they actually close this out? Boom, Chris.
Fantastic way to start, and no scopes on him himself. Absolutely saving Mousesports.
Hey, it's me, Lily from AT&T. I'm back, working from home, and here to help.
Hey Lily, I'm hearing a lot about 5G. Should I be getting excited?
Depends. Are you going to want faster speeds?
I will.
More reliability?
Oh, also yes.
Better response times?
Definitely.
Are you going to be making sourdough bread?
Oh, is that 5G related?
No, it's just like, why is everyone making sourdough now? But yes, you're going to want 5G.
AT&T is building 5G on America's best network. Visit att.com to learn more.
no direction, but you're looking away. Caught up in your rejection. Now things don't feel the same. Can anybody hear me? My head is giving in. Can anybody help me? I'm losing it all again. Bones break like promises. Now I'm falling. It's never enough to let you in. Sometimes love can feel so lonely. We'll never know what might have been. Just wanna feel your touch, and it's never enough. Caught up in this emotion. I'm your biggest mistake. Can't you see that I'm broken? I know you feel the same. It's never over. Now I'm falling. It's never enough to let you in. Sometimes love can feel so lonely. We'll never know what might have been. Just wanna feel your touch, and it's never enough. It's never enough to let you in. Sometimes love can feel so lonely. We'll never know what might have been. Just wanna feel your touch, and it's never enough. It's never enough. It's never enough. Sun is shining and I feel so good. People smiling in the neighborhood. Think I'm gonna take my darling out, 'cause it's a good day.
Dupree ends it with an ace. And welcome back, everybody, to the DreamHack Masters Spring 2020. I'm ready to get this show on the road. We got just one more map here between these two teams, both encompassing the side of Scandinavia that I like, Denmark and Sweden. Welcome back, everybody. Astralis versus the Ninjas in Pyjamas. We've just witnessed Nuke go the way of Astralis. They battled tough, they battled hard, but it's Dupree at the end of it all that shuts down and closes out the game with an ace. We get to see it right there. And again, welcome. My name is Trace. Alongside of me are Pimp and Matthew, and these guys are ready to talk about why Danish Counter-Strike is back, baby.
Oh yeah, really? Danish Counter-Strike is back? Is that where you're leading with this?
I guess. Yeah, let's just see what happens.
Jump in the gun just a little bit here. No, that was a very good map from Astralis. I think two elements come to mind. The first one is a great T side. They played simple but efficient. What they tried worked, and the A plan worked. And when that's the case, you know, life is going to be good. And then the second element, you have it on your graphic right here. The double D. 42 kills, Dupree and Device.
Ooh.
Dupree with the rifle, Device with the AWP. He had, I think Device had on the CT side at least 2 or 3 rounds, but he should have died instantly, and somehow he stayed alive. He made life for NIP so annoying, got the kills left and right behind that red box outside. So good job on them. They really did play a good map.
I 100% agree. I think Astralis was looking good, and I think the Device and Dupree was the main factors around this, especially the Device. He's so annoying to play out against. When he's having that room to just move around the map and do whatever he pleases to do, as many was saying, like he was just being a constant annoying player to go up against for the NIP players. So overall, you gotta give credit to Astralis here. It was simple, it was efficient, and it was super, super well played.
I mean, even if you start to look at just how Astralis was approaching it later in this part of this game, they were trying to bait shots in for Device. We saw Device pushing in the squeaky door, setting himself up on a nice angle in the lobby just to kind of hold the fort down and really kind of cut off that entire avenue of approach. But I'm not an analyst. I don't know what I'm talking about. Let's talk about the stats, Helix, and let's do it.
Let's do it, because both Maniac and I said now that it was very simple and it was efficient, and this is a great example of how simple it was for Astralis. This is going to be an inside execute, right? It's just an inside go. You see Magic's all the way out here. 2 smokes have been put down right here to give us some cover. Now, if we play it out, Magic's going to come in the gate, and the rest of the team is going to come in from the door and hot. What's going to happen here in a second is that dupreeh's going to win the duel towards Rest, and then look towards Snappy over here. I want you to focus on him and his duel when he's going to send out a flash for Magic right here. This is some Counter-Strike 101. They win the duel. Now, look at Snappy. A flash comes in towards gate, Magix comes in, and all of a sudden the entirety of Astralis is just going to go in towards the inner bomb side. We can switch over to the point of views of the players as well, just to see how it actually looks from the players' point of views. dupreeh, he wins the duel towards go right here, and they're just instantly ready to go for it. His teammate goes out straight away. Now look at Snappy. As soon as that happens, ready with a flash, flashing for Magix. He's going to come in, and Snappy's going to be the second guy to come in from hot, killing Hampus, who was the sole player to defend this bomb side. Astralis, they didn't do anything out of the ordinary. They just made it simple and efficient, and it was good to see that it could make it work at this level as well.
And Maniac, I want to kind of shift focus there a little bit, because we do need to talk a little bit about the next map of the series, the last map of the series, if that's okay. Do you have something you want to close out on?
Listen, you're the Lord, you decide. I'm just here to make you happy, Tress.
Okay, well, I'll keep that one in my pocket for another time. But as the story is told, it is Overpass that we look to settle the score on here. And as far as Astralis goes, how are we feeling going into this Overpass game? Because obviously they've got the firepower, they've got the know-how between the core, but can they, withstand NIP one more time?
Well, honestly, usually I'd say that is it, that's done, and Astralis, they will not be able to, fight back on Overpass. But the problem is, I've seen them versus Mousesports last week, and they were quite fierce. They were quite dangerous. Mostly on their T side, they posted 11 rounds versus Mousesports. They focused a lot on the B bomb side, so maybe a little bit limited in what they can do on Overpass. But what they can, they're actually very dangerous. They've pushed Mousesports against the ropes on the B side time and time again, and Mousesports didn't really have an answer. So now, NIP, I feel like they dropped the ball on Nuke. I'm not going to change my prediction, though, but it could get dicey.
Jacob, one word answer. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Is the Jutland going to be disappointed at the end of this game?
They are actually not on Jutland, Trace, but close enough. I think Astralis is going to lose this one. Yes, I do believe. It was great to see them play this well on Nuke, and as they, like, the silver lining for me is that if Device and dupreeh can find as much impact they had on Nuke on Overpass as well, there's a chance Astralis can make this very competitive and potentially win it, but I think it's going to be too much for them to handle.
Yeah, we're going to have to find out, though, Jacob. So you're going to have to sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Just like everybody out there watching the show, not to include, but also limited to everybody watching in Twitch chat and at home. We're going to go to a quick break. We're going to come back, and we're going to start to look at this last map of the series right here between Astralis and the Ninjas of Pyjamas.
Always looking, always praying. Now heaven's waiting on us to believe. Spread our wings, meteorite. We can be stars for them to see. It's like we waited our whole lives, we waited our whole lives. It's only you and me tonight, yeah, you and me tonight. Yeah, only you and me can decide, yeah, you and me can decide. It's time for us to open our eyes and look down at the sky. Now we're blazing, so high there ain't no stopping. Fast, fast like that, and now we got them saying, ay, ay, ay. Now we're blazing, take off the subs and watch us fly. You know we fly, you know we fly, you know we fly, you know we fly, you know we fly. Take off the subs and watch us fly. You know we fly, you know we fly, you know we fly, you know we fly, you know we fly. Take off the subs and watch us. Now we're floating, forever winning. Now heaven's watching as we join into eternity. Feel the rhythm as it pulls us in, just a beat. It's like we waited our whole lives, we waited our whole lives. It's only you and me tonight, yeah, you and me tonight. Yeah, only you and me can decide, yeah, you and me can decide. It's time for us to open our eyes and look down at the sky. Now we're blazing, so high there ain't no stopping. And now we got them saying,
overpass. We've gone the distance. We've gone to number 3, and it is NIP taking on Astralis for this series for elimination inside of the lower bracket playoffs for DreamHack Masters Spring 2020. I'm Hugo. Joining me is Harry. And are you ready for this third map, buddy?
No, honestly. Do you think we could delay it?
Yeah, actually, I think we can do tomorrow. You want
all right.
to get
yeah, you know, tomorrow works with me.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
well,
all right, man. See you in a bit. Yeah, right.
Peace.
Catch you all. Oh, wait, hang on. Oh, it's still going ahead. Okay, right. Well, you can see the Betway odds there. They put this one in favor of NIP. But Astralis, that was quite the dominant performance back on Nuke. Overpass has been a great map for me for both of these squads, but I really loved watching NIP on it specifically. A lot of that is coming back from when Lekro was in this squad, so let's see if they can do the same damage. Woo! Plopsky gonna get one through the smoke while blinded, just taps down Dupree. Now Astralis getting into the bomb site, trying to shut down these players. It's a very heavy stack here for the NIP squad. Snappy doing all he can to shut this round down, but he's left in a 1v2, and it's Rez arriving late in through short side that's now left Snappy in a bit of an awkward spot. He's trying to wrap into heaven, hoping he can deal with Nork, but Nork is being a nuisance, and he's hidden all the way back in bank. That to me just screams that he knows Snappy's gone on this chase, and Rez, well, is going to follow up with that kill. So NIP, they get the pistol round locked in, they go 1-0 up as they stack that B bomb site and find a lot of success with it.
Yeah, that looked like he could have gone very bad with that Molotov landing for Astralis, right? Plopsky's hiding, and there's a double barrel setup, but Twister's a smoke, and Plopsky's just waiting. I imagine he's calling, please smoke it, please smoke it. And Twister's like, yeah, man, I'm coming, I'm smoking, I'll do it. But the entire time, they're burning out, and then the smoke lands, but by that point, NIP had already peeled away from the barrels because they had like 40 health. And, you know, Astralis, they take those kills, but obviously opening kill going the way of NIP, and a nice backup from Nork as well to secure the round inside of that B bomb site. Like you said, also stack there. This certainly helps. And now Astralis on an eco. No bomb plant, no problem. Not for Snappy. He gets a 1D in middle and drops the only M4 in this round. It's 4 MP9, so this can get out of hand very quickly. Magist picks it up and Twist puts him down. Magisto trading. The grenade will rid him of this round, but there's another man there with a weapon, there with a plan. Dupree with one Plopsky ballsy jump up there, but it works wonders. And he finds 3 in the round, maybe a 4th to follow. Just Device on 2 points of health coming up connector.
Oh, and they know. Device, he doesn't know it yet, but Nork is coming in through the back and does deal with it. So NIP, they get that round back under control. You know, you think about what Astralis brought into it, and the fact that so much damage is done is something they're going to be very, very happy with. Now this buy is going to come through in this round here and now. Reinvestment forced on the majority of the NIP players. It means that we've got rifles for almost everyone with Twist and Hampus on these SMGs. They're going to throw that deep mid Molotov early, and they do the double up, right? You throw one into the park, you throw one down at the ramp, and this is not only going to waste utility from Astralis, but it's allowed Twist to take a man down early on. And you trade an MP9 for an AK, you know, a 1-for-1 isn't ideal on the CT side, but when you think about the weaponry involved, you'll take that if you're NIP. And now they're going to try and set up to play around this. They have 2 players over at long going aggressive. While this is going down, Nork's here at short, boosted up on top of the sandbags, and he takes that kill and just gets out of there. And that's perfect, right? You've only got 2 players over here at the B bomb site, and if Nork gets traded there, I feel like Astralis just hit B and end up taking the round. So now the man advantage taken and maintained, crucially. NIP just going to ease back into this 3-man hold at the B site.
Yeah, they want 4, but they can't fully rotate. Plopsky spots a man monster, but he doesn't see the bomb. And oh, that's actually really bad for Astralis. They lose Snappy, but now someone's going to go and get that package. I mean, at this point, 2 on 4, it's been spotted. There's that rotate from Rez off of A, and it gets worse and worse by the second for Astralis. NIP are all over this site, and there's just no time to rotate. Astralis have to commit. So here's the setup. We have men everywhere in every position, and Hampers might just do it all alone. Him and Nork combined for the last, and there's guns everywhere. So NIP, some upgrades coming through, and a 3rd round as they rid Astralis of their first rifle. It's going to have to be an eco following that. And great pop flashes to Monster. Plopsky just going back in 3 times maybe that round with flashes and gets information for NIP. Tech 9s for Astralis. Oof.
Cool. This is maybe the killing spree for Twist. MP9 runs out of ammo and oh dear. Okay, Device, Snappy, and Magis all get a kill within a millisecond of one another. Somehow, some way, this round, the Astralis shouldn't have really had much stake in. It's come down to a favorable situation for them. They retrieved M4s. They have themselves the man advantage. Hampus is going to try and hold down the A site, but on that peak, he gets brought down low, and now they're closing the distance. He can't hold his ground, and this leaves Nork in a 1v3.
Just is pushing him. That's given a chance to Nork to get back in this round, but he's taken significant damage from the fight. Oh, the bait shots coming through. Snappy has crossed, and Nork is so ready for this engagement. Oh dear, very, very tight angle. He's got the info, but he's trapped between two. He knows that Device has got to be somewhere around the toilets. He's made the read with the tap, but Device is going to clear this position and tell his teammate not to move. It's got to be a stick, or it's got to be a kill. Nork needs either. He won't get neither. It's Device shutting down the round, and Astralis do pick it up on the pistols. That's obscene. I mean, yeah, really, I can't tell you how that happened, Harry, because like you said, 3 kills in an instant, like out of nowhere, and yeah, a player in connector, a player coming from B short, 1 more in middle. The pistols work wonders for Astralis in a round they really shouldn't have, and look at what that's done to NIP's money here. No Molotovs in the 5th round, no kits, no AWP.
Ooh. So Rez is spamming this, and that's quite good for Hampus, because now they might not know that a man has gone aggressive into the mid area. Vice is over here in Park, and Hampus is going to catch that kill, follows up with a second, and now Twist down here in Connector getting pressured as well, lines up a double of his own. It is just double trouble here for NIP, and it's 4 times the trouble for Snappy as he's left in this 1v5. A lot of work to do, and not much to get it done with.
Well, that is just, yeah, not how you want the round to go if you're Astralis, crumbling in the opening couple of seconds. I love that mid play from Hampus, like you said, you know, the bait shots coming through the smoke, draws them in, twisting the connector, the same. He's been multi-kill man in this map. I know we're only 5 rounds in, but him and Con, he's come out with a double every single time. So, yeah, great work. And it's going to be nice to see that AWP come through for NIP soon as well, right? The question mark of who is going to take it. I imagine Spawns will play a role in it. Twist often will AWP over Nork, at least for the start of the map, which is fine. And, you know, money isn't there for Astralis right now. So NIP are going to have it first. Snappy, I guess, is just saving here. What else can he really do? He's picked up the bomb, but really with no intention of using it. More of a pacifist in this round. And NIP, it's their, you know, they're in the lead, but they only just scraped together 5 rifles in this round. If they want everything, including the util, it's important to keep all these players alive. So they're going to hunt in, you know, safe map control, but they're not going to go pushing into T-spawn here. You see the upgrades come through, AKs are saved, and yeah, players with full health, they're going to be able to upgrade head armor if they want, buy utility, buy kits. So all is good for NIP right now. And for Astralis, their money is a bit skewed. We got Device on 6K, we got others on 2K. So yeah, probably just splitting the cash and trying to divert, or divide rather, their funds.
Set up over here towards B early on, and there's a deep smoke thrown in by NIP. Plopsky's holding close, and the flash rings on past. Hampus is here to trade and keep things even. Now, doesn't want to overextend. He's been able to keep NIP in the man advantage in this 4-on-3, and the flashes have been good to bail him out. Astralis, any momentum they had has just been ruined. Like, they're trying to push in, and they've just been full weighted, what, 3 or 4 times in a row on that push. And so eventually, someone makes the call, like, all right, I think we just abandoned it at this point. It's a little clear what's going on, don't you think? And so now they have to slow it right down, a man down as well.
Those are all those flashes that would be for Plopsky, right? He gets away with 1, and we've already seen NIP abuse the monster flashes this game. And well, Plopsky's dead, but it doesn't stop NIP from throwing in all their grenades to stop Astralis in their tracks. And you'll see, look at, I love this gamble. Like, again, NIP leaning towards B with 3 players. It's such a good call, and Astralis walking right into it. It's pretty standard. Astralis love this B bomb site on overpass. Everyone knows it. And so NIP, this isn't exactly a surprise to them. Hampus drops the bomb, and he's going to go back in, almost kill killed by his teammate, and he gets away with another, and finally traded, but Magiska's only begun clawing this round back. He's got a 1-on-2 left to do inside of B. Don't know where he is right now. He's hidden, all been spotted, shot through the smoke, and Magisk doesn't realize they're close. Nice bait from Twist. We've been seeing a lot of that from NIP, right? The shot through the smoke make Magisk think that's, you know, the closest player, and then Naught gets even closer, and Magisk not even considering that position. Yeah, just another strong B defense for NIP, where they put up a kill, they reposition, they set up crossfires, playing very well as a unit right now, and Astralis are back on a low economy round. Whoa, there it is. We were waiting for it, Harry.
Yeah, we didn't have to wait long. And Twist now ringing out with that kill on the back of the AWP. Well, what does it mean now that he's got the AWP? And that means that maybe Connector's a little bit more clear. This is where he's been leaning a lot when he's had these rifles. And so Astralis, they are going to get this Connector control. They're sat a man down. And Twist's AWP is holding the angle over here towards short from inside the site. So this map control given over by design for NIP. They're almost saying to Astralis, look, if you want to come for the A site, you can, but we are going to be here. We are ready for it. Twist waiting patiently. There's also a third man here up at the A site. That's Hampus over at Dumpster. He's going to rotate in and plays close on the truck with this crossfire set up. Now, Twist is dueling with the USP. Lands a dink onto Magisk. While he does lose his mate in the form of Hampus, Twist is still alive and kicking and just retreats, falls back into the bank. Oh dear. Okay, Dupree finding a double, was ready for res at long.
Oh, the molly's good, and Plopsky's going to swing, finding that close player. He should never win that fight, but oh no, Plopsky, that is not allowed. He gets both kills in engagements that really should not be his. Snappy was low anyway. That's, you know, certainly doesn't help him, but yeah, Plopsky jumping on the truck, finishing off the last. And yeah, there's an argument to be made that Twist, you know, left his team out to dry there, ducking back into the bank, but I actually think he makes the safe play. It's unfortunate his team die off the back of it. You see Snappy gets aggressive. That's right after Twist falls back, but he knows that he has teammates in the site, and so giving away the AWP would be a bit of a problem, but falling back and letting that crossfire continue to run is a safer decision, so he can play for retake, and I like that. You know, Twist, he may have struggled back on Nuke, but I feel like we see that a lot when he orms on Nuke CT side. I feel like he never really... I can't recall any like sick games from Twist on that map, and a map like Overpass is going to be way better for him, and he's already looking like you know, like he's come to play today. 9-4. Oh, he might have heard something. Astralis are moving up long. The flash missed. The shot will too. Twist has to go back to A.
When Dupree's already wrapping close over here in the toilets, Rez has just missed the timing as well to get this information. He's holding on to the bottom of Con because Snappy has just put that smoke in through the choke point. Rez going to catch the timing to deal with Dupree, and as Magisk went for the trade, Twist has his back. This crossfire lays waste to the push out in mid. Snappy is going to remove one. That's Plopsky going aggressive in through Monster. And so NIP has sent a bit of a stern reminder not to overextend too heavily in this round. We're still dueling, still taking these fights at short, but he will back on out over here into the A site. Now joining up with old mate Hampus. And they're just going to play this one with the man advantage. They're going to play the numbers game and wait for Astralis to come to them.
Yeah, you're definitely right when you talk about Plopsky and his aggression, right? NIP want the info, they want to know where this is going, and they already thought it was A, but that kill has left two players at lower, which is so good for Astralis. They have a favored trade into this site, but they need the first kill, and that will not present itself. Hampus swings, dropping a second, Snappy alone, and at this point, those rotates are already in. Rez on the flank, and he was B short the entire time, giving him a very quick rotation up Con. That's a good setup for NIP, right? You know, I love it when that's something that you'll see Astralis do a lot with, like Dupree and Con. You know, they let those mid players pass. Rez hides, and Twist is the only one essentially fighting solo A, right? While Rez watches Connector, and then you know Twist draws them in. Rez waits till they go divider or toilets, and he pops out behind and gets a kill. Stalls for ages. Happy birthday to Snappy though. Did not know that. Hopefully he can get a W on his birthday. That's always nice, but right now, things aren't looking too good. Harry, did you bring Snappy a cake for his 30th?
Yeah, it's still in the shop, man. You know, like that classic
So no.
excuse. Well, like there was an attempt, but also I don't know where I should be sending it. This guy's on so many different teams, apparently. You know, I couldn't figure out where to address it. So, yeah, there's a number of problems there.
Nice.
North gonna go aggressive down here short side and just wasn't ready for players to be so close. Plopsky stood out in the open as well. It feels like he's kind of asking to die at this point as he gets peeked from Monster. NIP really weren't ready for this this aggression down at the B bomb site, and that feels like a bit of an oddity when you think about how often they've been ready for this aggression down at the B bomb site. Dupree gonna get thrown up on this boost to check barrels. There's a smoke in the way right now, and so he's gonna wait for that to fade before he goes for this peak. He's already been spotted by Hampus though, who's one step ahead and isn't gonna fall prey to this boost anytime soon.
I'm surprised NIP aren't gambling with a triple B right now. It feels, you know, Astralis have tried to end here so many times, and NIP have often just stacked it. And obviously a stack here allows you to just gamble with all your guns. You don't have a lot of money to fall back on, so, you know, if you save 3 guns, that's great. But if you have a triple stack, you also have a chance. Right now it's just 2. Let's see what they can do. Twist with a flashbang is good. Hampus, oh baby, he mows them down. That is excellent. We love this utility from NIP. They've been throwing it all game, and those monster flashes have been brutalizing Astralis. It's not done yet though. Rez in a clutch.
Yeah, and up against Dupree and Device. The 2 boys we've often been able to rely on the Astralis side. It's going to try and fake the drop with the USP, throws that out, but it hasn't forced any peaks. Everyone from Astralis is grouped up here short side. They're just going to try and play the trade game. And now for Rez, this means that he needs to be taking these fights. He can't play this one off of time. He can't really fake the defuse because Astralis just aren't going to overextend. He needs to hunt these players down, and he's not able to secure the kill. Device gets it, and with that, a second round on the board for Astralis. NIP back to the drawing board here. The money's in a bit of an awkward spot. I imagine they're just going to invest because Plopsky's on a double eco anyway. Man, you can see how devastating these flashes are that NIP just keep lobbing into the monster.
That could be the building block. That could be Astralis starting off now on this T side. They've been a very slow, very quiet to begin this map. Maybe this is their time to shine. Getting up outside of B again. That's a bit of an Astralis classic. It's all they've done really on this T side, but it has worked. At least in the last trade is good, but Plopsky won't find a second as Dupree doubles down into B, and no one else here. NIP were triple set up on A, so finally, actually, Astralis, they make a call that NIP aren't ready for, and it's going to be almost a guaranteed last round. I say that Hampus drop one through the smoke. Twist is committed. The bomb is in pit. The bomb is in pit, Harry. It's not on the site, and Astralis have just dropped this one out of nowhere. They had it in the palm of their hand, and they didn't go on the plant. They just went for the kills, and NIP, they'll deliver the kills right back. That is not a very Astralis-like round.
Oh, but Device maybe going to deliver us something juicy here. Deals with Rez, has brought both these players down low and they're grouped up. A spray transfer could be the death of NIP in this round. Device gets spotted and deals with the first. Oh, twist with the trade. And he just narrowly locks that round in for NIP. A nice try from Device. It's only him and Dupree to get kills in that round. So once again, it falls to the 2 of them to try and make something of it for Astralis. I kind of can't believe that with Dupree opening up with 2 kills into that round, Astralis kind of blundered that one away. The bomb gets lost down towards heaven, as you say, right? They drop it down in the pit. So, yeah, bit of a mystery there.
Yeah, and that's the crazy thing about that. It might have just been like Dupree not realizing he had it. The reason that doesn't make sense, of course, is the fact that Astralis, there's only 2 CTs on B. They killed them both. And so it's not like Dupree was, you know, I'm sure he hears the Heaven players, but it's not like he's setting up to win a fight. He's just essentially almost setting up for a post plant. But NIP aren't in B, they're not even there. And if Astralis just stuck the plant after those 2 kills, they could fall back, they could set up in post plants, they have a huge advantage. But instead, they just continue pushing, and NIP just send the rotates in. And obviously, some well-placed kills from NIP, shots through the smoke, some things that, you know, obviously you can't rely on, but at the end of the day, they went around, and it is Astralis' mistake. Dupree makes up for it, though. An important B pick in this round. Twist is still here. He's had a great game, even without the AWP. Rifles, doesn't really matter. He is prepared. And Nork is alongside him, trying to draw them in. Twist, oh, he gets caught. The flashes are good for Astralis this time, and Hampers has had to come on rotation as well. NIP with 2 in the pit, now 1 in the pit. And Astralis are going to be able to focus on the plant, but not cover it. Oh, no! What's going on, Harry? How is Nork able to stop it? He's bought res time for the clutch again.
Yeah, now with a chance. Yugi gets his first kills of the game here in this round, and we need to see that continue if Astralis want to have any chance. A double to his name already, and Rez, as you mentioned, given a little bit more time. That flash is good. Rez doesn't react by firing off any shots, so they don't get the info he's here until that peek comes in. And for the time being, he's isolated this fight onto Dupree. Yugi's wrapping into heaven, and there's a kit available to Rez.
Can't see it.
He hasn't picked it up. It's down on the body that's fallen in the pit. Yugi up in heaven, and Rez tapping the bomb. Yugi just hasn't committed to the peek. Now will, and knows that he's gotten Rez off of that defuse. There's just not enough time. Yugi, even though he goes down, it is still a 3rd round on the board for Astralis. A bit of a shame. Rez didn't spot the kit, and I don't think anyone commed it over to him. There might have been a chance had he had it.
That is definitely it, right? Like, you know, you don't want to lay blame on anyone, but if Rez is there and he needs a kit and you had a kit and you died, like, a bare minimum, someone should be calling, like, kit on my body right in front of you. You know, obviously they can't see it. As you said, it's hidden in the body. We have X-ray. We know he doesn't. And I think that X-ray has really, you know, helped us out in contextualizing a lot of these close clutches and lack of information the teams have had and how hard it can be to win a round like that. Like, Rez, he's not thinking about the kit. He's thinking about the kill. And unfortunately, Yugi won't give it to him until it's too late. So yeah, I mean, you know, unfortunate situation, but again, like, NIP are making a lot of these rounds that shouldn't be theirs, either theirs or very close. Think about how that went for Astralis with the man advantage, with the double opener, a trade back for NIP, and then someone swings and stops the bomb plant. Like, things like this, like, how are Astralis letting these things happen? They have a player on short, they have a player in monster, and still that plant isn't getting covered. So, you know, we're definitely seeing gaps for Astralis, and NIP have done a really good job of putting 8 on the board, but that money has been broken now. It's about time Astralis finally putting them onto, you know, a low economy round with 2 guns. But they've got a kit here this time at least.
Now, Zonix read through the scriptures, and he's discovered something in there about an area of the map called Long, and Astralis, they're like, all right, we can give that a go, I guess. So they've grouped up, and they've run the gauntlet here early on, and they've gotten very, very deep in the opening, 30 seconds of this round. Snappy does take a dink down here and connect it, but it's not really going to prove to be too valuable just yet to NIP. It's actually Yugi to open the round up there. And Device looking to get stuck in. A fast second kill into the A bomb site, and that spurred Astralis on.
Oh, there it is, and that's the A site crumbling now for NIP. The last man inside of it gone. It's all on the rotations, and they won't even make it out of the bank. Hampers removed, Popsky waiting to deliver him death, but actually he gets Dupree. That's an AK at his feet, but still not a feat that is really attainable. Astralis, they've already started to send lurks out to cut him off, Harry. They are so confident in Yugi on this site that Device, Snappy, and Magisk have left. Like, dangerous. And to be fair, Device is still somewhat hanging around, but yeah, there's no one here to capitalize on it. Plopsky, there's a kit in front of him again, but it's not like he's going to be able to get this defuse off with Yugi in the site. And Astralis are just going to win it from time. Plopsky will save. Might even go in for that kit there as well. This time he can't see it, and actually it gets delivered to him. The bomb blows it right to his feet, so maybe a sign from the universe, a sign from Gaben, the NIP, they need these diffusers. 8-4 though, Astralis are coming back alive. That's their first 2 rounds in a row all game. So let's see how many more they can get near the end of the half. They've broken NIP well and truly now. It's no longer a force with a couple of deagles. It's down to flat USPs. Plopsky has to be the hero of this round.
Oh, and only one man down here towards the B site. The rest of the gang are over here in middle, and Device looks like a tasty treat right now to these NIP guys. They want to try and take this AK away. Device just falls off and doesn't give anything up, and the B site's already fallen. So this 5th round is a lock-in for Astralis. You know, they were only up against the pistols to begin with. be no kills found today from them. So 5-8. Astralis still looking to get back into this half. And honestly, they kind of already have, right? Like, even if it goes 5-10, that's still enough to give you a fighting chance in the second half of play. And it feels like Astralis have a little more to show us before this half draws to a close. I think critically as well, the fact that Yugi started to actually put some kills up in the server is always helpful. He got off to a very rough start. He was 0-10 at one point in time.
What? Twist. Okay, cool. That's reasonable. Gonna take down the Vice. Mibr will trade, and he will deny anyone picking up that weapon. It was only a Mach 10 anyway. 5 rounds for Astralis. Better late than never. Slow and steady wins the race. Whatever you want to say about it, it's at least there. It's building. And Astralis, they could get 6 or 7 rounds here, and that would be a great half for them. So no longer is this dire. No longer is this worrying. A 7-1 and 8-2 for NIP. Times are changing. Even for Twist, he can't afford the AWP. He's back to a flat rifle, but he has been good with it. Astralis haven't been keen to purchase their own AWP on the T side either. Sticking with the rifles. With a lot of heavy B endings, that doesn't really surprise me, right? You don't need an AWP to get into B by any means of the word. If anything, it makes it harder. And of course, the rifles are absolutely fine at post-plant on B2. NIP 3 there early. They're going to rotate Hampus up towards top. And that's where Astralis are working right now, moving through the connector, clearing out toilets. But Twist, I think the smoke fade, the spam from Device, good awareness, does a lot of damage. I'm sure he heard that connection as well. So Astralis should be ready for a close player in the toilets. Do they know it's 2, though?
Ooh, Twist has caught the bomb with that peek. Oh dear, he's about to get triple peeked there from the out of toilets. Rez falling back, gets himself out of harm's way, and that's definitely the safe decision to make. From here, he can fall back into a bit of a crossfire with Hampus between Dicebox and Trug. And there was even a bit of a rotation from Plotski, who looked to rotate up. He decides against it, and that's something that NIP might come to regret, or actually maybe not. Astralis bow out of the A site. They rotate down after getting that kill. And now they try and hit B.